This is just for grins. There's nothing really important about this. So this is kind of a basic astigmatism test. Okay. So I have an astigmatism, and what that means is that the surface of your eye, the corneal surface, instead of being spherical, is more like a barrel. It's more cylindrical. And then when it focuses, it doesn't focus to a point, it focuses to a line. Okay. And so when I look at this image with my right eye, then this horizontal line is dark, sharp, and crisp, and everything else is blurry. And when I look at it with my left eye, then this line is sharp, this one's sort of sharp, and everything else is blurry. Okay. And so that's because each eye has an astigmatism, and the axis of the astigmatism is different. Evidently, my right eye one is horizontal, and my left eye one's up at some funny angle like this, which is why fixing it with contacts makes it very unstable, because it's at a bad angle. Okay. When I put my glasses on and I relook, then my right eye is slightly this way, but it's mostly dark. And my left eye is really pretty good, but it's still mostly like these three lines are pretty dark and the rest are somewhat blurry gray. You know, like I said, the thing is, if you go in and look, if you didn't know you had astigmatism, you go, oh, well, this one's black and the other ones are gray. And then I'm like, yeah, well, turn the paper. And then which one's black changes because it's your eye, not the page. So, and then this is an interesting thing. So this is the blind spot type of thing. Yeah. So you have a slight astigmatism. I mean, it may not be enough to worry about correcting or anything like that. One is faded. That's interesting. That's kind of like the inverse. So, and then this is the blind spot. So where the optic nerve attaches to the retina, there aren't any rods or cones. So you can't see there. That's why I call it the blind spot. So what your brain does is it doesn't have a field of vision with a glaring hole in it. So it takes from around the optic nerve attachment and it basically like photoshops over the hole. So what you see isn't necessarily there. And so this will help you do that, but you have to be really careful. This one's a little hard to do. So it says that if you close your left eye, look with your right eye at the round dot, then what you need to do is move the page kind of in and out. You might need to rotate it a little bit depending upon your eye, but you know, keep looking at the dot. Don't look outside. If you keep looking at the dot and you view with your, you know, your averted vision around, then when you put it at some point, then the X will be on the optic nerve and it'll basically make it all white and the X is gone. But you have to line it up just right. So you got to move it in and out. You must always look at the dot as you move it in and out. Do not look at the X. You look at the X, you always see it. You have to look around. So you look at the dot, view around, and as you move the dot X in and out, at some point, you know, it'll hit where your nerve attaches and it'll just be all white. And then if you do the other one, so then you're going to switch your eye. So you're going to close your right eye. You're going to look with your left eye at the X, and you're going to move this in and out. And if you hit it on the optic nerve, it'll fill in the plus. You won't see the dot. Now, of course, if you look at the dot, you'll see the dot. You have to always look at here and then view around. And like I said, you got to move it in and out. You know, maybe tilt it. Usually it's just in and out is all that is required. So those are just for fun. I don't know. Those amuse me. All righty.